It seems like Drake is always working on new music, and just when you think he's about to take a break, he unleashes a Scary Hours pack or maybe a surprise album. But now, the official rumblings are a Drake and 21 Savage collab album are on the way, and we know that 21 Savage has gone on to shut this rumor down. But in today's video, we're going to tell you exactly why we still think this album is coming. And let's start off with the actual 21 Savage acknowledgement of this tape.
Yes, sir.
Rap TV made an IG post. And they were talking about the rumored album between Drake and 21 Savage. And 21 Savage has commented with the cap emoji.
Okay.
And then his manager went on Twitter and said, "Would be fire if this happened. Can't lie. But tweets like this make people think this is something real. LOL. I wish it was, though."
So how do you feel about that? Okay, because we're going to get into all of the details of why we think it could actually happen, but it's quite interesting that they had to come out and talk about the actual thing itself, because think about it, all right? There's rumored collaboration albums all the time. I've heard it all from Watch the Throne 2 to getting something from Baby Keem and Kendrick Lamar, but no one ever really talks about it.
No one acknowledges it, bro.
Well, they'll acknowledge it, but they'll
Not
always tease towards it or say, yeah, that'd be cool if it happened. No, it's not happening. So that's what makes me think there's something up. So let's actually take it to Instagram, and this happened this morning around 1:56 a.m. When Zoe Dollars, I believe, had gotten on, I believe it was Twitter, and he had, tweeted the owl emoji and the dagger emoji, and then
which is a reference, of course, to Drake and 21 Savage.
Yes, and their logos and their branding. Now, what happened after is interesting because then they said that's finna be a crazy tape.
3 minutes later, after those emojis, he posts that, and
this is why I think that happened though. It's because people went into the comment sections and they thought it was his album. They thought it was gonna be a new Zoe Dollars tape, and they thought it was gonna be something from him, but this tape, or like there's an essence around that tweet that makes me think that there's like something else at play.
Zoe Dollars isn't just, any person. He's an established rapper signed to Future's Free Bands label, and he's a close friend of Drake's. If you go through his IG, he has a bunch of recent pictures where he was with Drake in person. So it doesn't get more credible in terms of a source than that. Also, we also had somebody else tweeting that goes by the name of D.Omen, another verified account on Twitter, who said, "Drake and 21 Savage tape finna be crazy." And that's what kind of got a lot of people speculating and excited. And of course, Drake this morning ended up putting out a story saying that the Jimmy Cooks video is dropping Saturday. They were just spotted together in Atlanta. And listen, bro, it looks like a lot of things are pointing towards this drop, but there's also more. If you take it to KTT2, I don't know if you're familiar with this forum.
I am familiar, yes.
It's very similar to Reddit in the way that it works.
Yeah.
And there's a user by the name of Viet Bra who said, "Can't believe we getting a new album this month." And then someone asked, "Is it confirmed?" And he said, "You heard it here first." And according to the people on Drake's Reddit, Viet Bra is a insider source from OVO who apparently always comes out and starts talking when there's a Drake rollout. Apparently, he also predicted the rollout for, if you're reading this, it's too late. So it's supposed to be a credible source.
We'll see what happens, though. The Reddit ones always get me a bit fishy, though, because you never know what really happens.
Yeah.
But it is an interesting source, and I think that it's also quite some... It could be a nice move for Drake, actually, to drop this collaboration album, especially in 2022, and I'll tell you why. I feel like since Views, people have had criticisms about the way that he's been putting his albums together, and I love Views. I love Dark Lane demo tapes. I love More Life, but I haven't seen a full-on rap album from Drake since, if you're reading this, it's too late. And if you go back to 2015, this is what's interesting. Drake kind of did the same thing. He drops a solo project a bit earlier on in the year. We had gotten Honestly Nevermind in June, and then after that he came back with a collaboration album, which happens to be What a Time to Be Alive. So imagine he takes that same recipe from 2015 and forwards it now and actually has this rollout come through for the new year. I think it would be interesting for him, and you gave fans two different sounds. You got your more mainstream fans that fucked with, okay, the pop hits, stuff that I could, play at a party, the groovy type of Drake, but the real hip-hop fans want to see Drake, get spooky for the October season and see a new album
and
come
that's
through.
What's crazy is that Drake has never dropped an album in his birth month, so it'd be crazy to see him drop for October. And just to add some more updates, DJ Academics has also given us a lot of hints. So he was on stream in early October, and he said that he's been sworn to secrecy, but something big is coming in October.
Yes, sir.
And the guy was fucking jumping out of his seat. But this guy only gets excited when it comes to a Drake rollout because it's his favorite artist. But he's been right when it comes to a lot of Drake rollouts in the past. For example, on June 15th, 2 days before the Honestly Nevermind album came out, he actually went on to say that there's 99% chance that Drake is dropping a tape this summer. And it ended up happening. Same thing for Scary Hours 2 EP back in March of 2021. He went on to say that new Drake music was on the horizon, and then what do you know, fucking Scary Hours 2 comes out.
You get a three pack. And that's what's so interesting about this too, is that regardless of, what 21 Savage said, there's just too much going on in the
I
air.
think it's
you know?
a smoke screen. I think that he still wants to surprise the fans when it happens. But listen, bro, they were spotted together. The music video is coming out. It's both their birthdays in this month.
And yeah, people were talking about the academics thing as a sort of thing of like, okay, he's just hyped for the Jimmy Cooks music video.
No.
Who gets hyped like that for a fucking music video?
He said something big is coming.
Okay, listen, and we get it. The Jimmy Cooks video is also perfect timing too, because think about this, all right? It's leading up into the album, bro. It's getting people excited for the collaboration again. You want to put people in a different mind state before they're going into this album, and it's the perfect sequencing. Even for 21 Savage, he hasn't dropped music
in 2 years.
In 2 years, since 2020 with Savage Mode 2, and a full studio album in 2018. So think about this. He ends up getting this placement with Drake for this album. He's probably going to be on all over, that Metro Boomin album, and then he probably comes out with a studio album
Absolutely.
after.
And what's very telling about the whole Honestly Never Mind situation is the fact that it's a full dance album, but the one song that goes #1 and that gets everybody talking is Jimmy Cooks with 21 Savage. Drake knows this. Drake knows what's up. He knows that people want him to bring back the fucking bar work. And when Drake gets into this more dark production where you're getting that Memphis rap style, it's undefeated, bro.
It's undefeated.
21 Savage, he brings the nasty out of Drake, bro, and I'm fucking down for it.
Absolutely. Even going back to their past collabs, like a song like Sneakin', one of the best songs from that More Life rollout.
Yep.
I'm sorry. That should have made the track list, and I still bump it to this day. Listen, the only one that I was always iffy about was Knife Talk, but Knife Talk's not even a bad song.
Bad.
It was just in the context of the CLB
it's
track
more
list.
Mr. Right Now that I'm a bit iffy on, but let's keep on going with these updates. So on the Friday show, which is an OVO Sound Radio exclusive, OVO, Mark, and Noel were kind of talking about Drake's show at the Apollo venue in New York, which is happening on November 11th. And he said this. He said, there are 3 albums for Drake to perform, but you can almost hear him say 4. Then he stutters and clarifies that he was talking about Darkling demo tape, Certified Lover Boy, and Honestly Never Mind, since Drake hasn't done proper live performances. But then Noel responds saying, let's not speculate, as if he was kind of giving a hint to the fans. And this was on episode 80 at the 38-minute mark, if you guys do want to check it out. But that was very telling as well, that people
I
Drake's
know
camp.
and that's like, and okay, even this thing that happened on Stake, I mean, I'd gotten the link from one of my boys, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna watch this tonight, because there was definitely rumors going around, and Drake always plays roulette on Stake. They have a partnership together, and then he ends up getting the number 21, and he looks around the room kind of a bit 21, interesting.
He said it more than once.
Yeah, it was kind of suspicious in the way that he did it, and then he looks to one of his boys, and then after that goes on. But then, I mean, towards the end of the stream, didn't he say something like, I'll be back in more ways than you actually think?
He said this, I will see you very soon in plenty ways, I'm sure.
Come on. Okay, what's going on? There has to be something I played.
Guys, I think that there's a lot of reasons for us to be confident in this rollout. And even if you're doubting it, just remember that we made this video. Remember that, because I think there's a strong chance of this happening. But what do you think the album would actually sound like?
Oh, I think it would sound fantastic. I think it'd also be such a pivotal point in Drake's career. Like, people need to respect his penship. People need to come in and actually respect the way that this guy raps, because when he gives you a full body of work with that type of vibe, he dominates years. I mean, 2015, obviously, we saw Kendrick come with the Pip of Butterfly, and there was great projects, but if you're reading this, it's too late. And What a Time to Be Alive were some of the most decorated albums of that year, and he had 2 of them. So what I'm saying is that if he was to take this pivotal transition and going back into rap and giving people what they want, man, the proof is in the pudding, bro. Jimmy Cooks went fucking #1. That has to be something.
Bro,
so we got to see
all
it.
of their songs have over 200 million streams on Spotify, and I think Drake likes to keep the fans guessing. He drops this dance album out of nowhere. Now he hasn't done a collab album in 7 years, and people want Drake to rap again, and the proof is there. So I think that it's going to be amazing, and I think that you're going to get probably Metro Boomin, you're going to get vinyls, you're going to get Boy Wonder producing on this thing to give you these eerie, dark instrumentals that fit in to that Halloween
and
vibe.
How sick would that? Okay, listen. Let's say the Boy Wonder thing did happen. How sick would that be, though? Because he didn't have any placements on CLB, and one of the major criticisms was the soundscape and being like, okay, it was lovey-dovey, but you didn't really get anything too crazy for Drake's standards. So having Boy Wonder come back to a project like this, I think would be a match made in heaven. So guys, let me know in the fucking comment sections. Are you hyped about this or not?
But before we end this off, official prediction for a release date, bro. What are you saying?
Okay, how could I forget this?
What are you saying, man?
Fuck it. I say in the next 2 weeks. That's
The
what I'll
next
say.
2 weeks.
I say
I
next
still think it's gonna come in October. I was thinking the date of October 28th, but The Vision, which is an R&B duo signed to OVO, they're dropping an album that day, so that might make them not want to drop, so that Drake doesn't stomp on the release date. But I think Drake's birthday, Monday the 24th, is a possibility, even though it's on a Friday, or maybe even October 31st. That's also a Monday. We'll have to see, but I mean, Drake loves a surprise drop, so I don't think that we're gonna have a rollout for this at all. But I do think this album is going to be
And I want to
bro.
make something clear right here. If you look at the past couple of surprise drops, I mean, even like Dark Lane demo tapes, bro, like that shit is incredible, bro. Usually he does really well with these surprise drops. So I'm going to go back into my outro, guys. As I said, if you guys want to come through and you guys want to actually see us react to this album, if it does end up coming out, we are going to be doing a full-blown live community stream on our Patreon plan. You guys could go visit the link in the description. Would love to have you guys there. Thank you so much for watching this, and we'll catch you on the next Drake update.